The assembled war council fell silent as the human delegate entered the chamber. Admiral Voss of the Terran Defense Fleet stood at attention, his weathered face bearing the scars of countless battles against the hegemony forces. Beside him, General Kane adjusted her tactical display, highlighting the red zones where human colonies had fallen in the past month. Commander David Park stepped forward, his simple gray uniform stark against the elaborate ceremonial armor worn by the alien representatives. The Valdari ambassador, resplendent in his crystalline warsuit, clicked his mandibles in what might have been amusement or disdain. The reptilian Koroth delegation hissed softly, their scaled faces unreadable behind their combat visors. "The humans request audience," announced the station's AI in its neutral tone. Fleet Master Torvin of the Galactic Coalition leaned forward in his hover throne, his 6 arms folding across his chest. "We have reviewed your species' military capabilities, Commander Park. Your ships are primitive. Your weapons lack the sophistication of our plasma cannons. Your armor cannot withstand our energy shields." David remained motionless, his hands clasped behind his back. On his chest, embroidered in simple black thread against the gray fabric, were the words, "We do not surrender." "The hegemony advances on 3 fronts," continued Torvin. "They have conquered the Alterian homeworld. The Nexus Prime Station has fallen. Even the mighty Koroth fleet retreated from their assault. What can humanity possibly offer this alliance that we do not already possess?" The other delegates murmured agreement. The insectoid hive queen Zara tapped her claws against the table's surface. "Your technology is centuries behind ours. Your population numbers in mere billions, not trillions like the great civilizations." David finally spoke, his voice calm and measured. "You are correct. We have fewer ships, older weapons, smaller armies. But there is something you may not understand about humans." "Enlighten us," Torvin said with barely concealed condescension. "We have a saying on Earth. When someone asks us to surrender, to kneel, to accept defeat, we have one response." David touched the message on his chest. "We do not surrender, ever." "General." Kane stepped forward, activating the holographic display. 3 days ago, the hegemony surrounded our colony on New Geneva. Population: 2 million civilians, defended by a garrison of 800 Marines. The enemy demanded surrender within 6 hours, or they would begin orbital bombardment. The display showed the battle footage. Hegemony dreadnoughts, each one, larger than most coalition vessels, surrounded the small human outpost. Their admiral broadcast his ultimatum across all frequencies. "The garrison commander was Captain Lisa Weber," Kane continued. "Her response was transmitted on all channels for the galaxy to hear." The recording played. A young woman's voice, steady, despite the overwhelming odds. "This is Captain Weber of the Terran Marine Corps. Your surrender demand is rejected. New Geneva stands." The footage showed what followed. 800 Marines against an invasion force of 50,000. The humans had no energy shields, no plasma weapons, no advanced armor. They fought with conventional firearms, explosive charges, and determination that defied logic. "They held for 17 hours, Kane said quietly. "Every building became a fortress. Every street became a killing ground. The hegemony lost 12,000 troops taking the colony." Admiral Voss spoke next. "The same pattern has repeated across 27 worlds. The enemy expects quick conquest, swift surrender. Instead, they find humans who fight for every meter of ground, who turn civilian structures into strongholds, who make the invaders pay in blood for every victory." The alien delegates shifted uncomfortably. The Valdari ambassador's mandibles clicked rapidly. Admirable, perhaps, but ultimately futile. Courage alone cannot defeat superior technology. David smiled grimly. "No, but it can buy time. While this..." Hegemony commits massive resources to subjugate our small colonies. Their main fleet moves slowly. While they expect 3-day conquests and instead face 3-week sieges, their supply lines stretch thin. The tactical display updated, showing hegemony fleet positions. What had begun as a coordinated advance had become a scattered series of protracted engagements. Human worlds that should have fallen in hours were tying down enemy forces for weeks. Your species has something the hegemony has never encountered, David continued. An absolute refusal to accept defeat. They have conquered races that fought bravely, then negotiated surrender when the cause seemed hopeless. They have faced enemies who retreated to fight another day. But they have never faced an enemy that simply will not stop fighting, no matter the cost. Queen Zara leaned forward. You speak of tactics, but what of strategy? How does this help us defeat them permanently? General Kane manipulated the display, showing shipping routes and supply depots. The hegemony's strength comes from rapid conquest and resource extraction. They are designed to overwhelm resistance quickly, then move on to the next target. But humans are forcing them to maintain occupation forces on every world they take. The display highlighted the math. Billions of hegemony troops now tied down in garrison duty across human space, unable to participate in new offensives. Supply convoys under constant attack from human resistance cells. Resources flowing to maintain control instead of funding. Expansion. We are not asking you to match our sacrifice, David said. We are offering to be the anchor that holds their advance in place while you strike where they are weak. Admiral Voss activated another display showing coalition fleet positions. While they besiege our colonies, their core systems are defended by skeleton crews. Their main industrial centers have pulled ships for occupation duty. The room fell, silent as the implications became clear. The humans were not offering victory through superior firepower or technology. They were offering victory through sheer, stubborn refusal to break. Fleet Master Torvin studied the tactical data for long moments. You would sacrifice entire worlds just to slow their advance. We would hold every world until our last breath, David corrected. Not as a sacrifice, but as our duty. The message on my chest is not a boast or a threat. It is a promise. The Koroth general hissed thoughtfully. Your species fights without hope of survival? No, David replied. We fight because surrender is not survival. It is merely a slower death. When the hegemony comes for your worlds next, would you prefer allies who might retreat when the battle turns difficult, or allies who will hold the line no matter what? The vote was unanimous. The Galactic Coalition accepted humanity as full members, not for their technology or their fleets, but for the simple message embroidered on one man's chest dot as the delegates filed out to prepare for coordinated strikes. Against weakened hegemony positions, Torvin approached David. Commander, I must ask, do all humans truly share this refusal to surrender? David looked out at the stars where human colonies burned but did not break. Every child on Earth learns those words before they can walk. We do not surrender. It is not just what we believe. It is who we are. In the darkness between stars, the hegemony fleet ground to a halt, their rapid expansion becoming a grinding war of attrition they were never designed to fight. And on 100 human worlds, simple. Messages were painted on bunker walls and broadcast on all frequencies. We do not surrender.